something now that you have makeup on for the day.
I better go out to McDonald's right now after this.
You gotta do something.
Yeah, right? Get my lipstick off with a #1 Diet Coke.
There's something special about McDonald's soda, though. It's extra, like, bubbly. And if anybody doesn't get that, I don't care about you.
Right? The Diet Coke.
My mom is obsessed. She will go through the drive-thru, and they know her by name, but she just goes through for a Diet Coke. And I'm like,
the Diet Coke. It's so good, especially when it's hot and you're craving it. And then when you're done, you're like, when did I drink this? And then you start eating the ice.
Well, also, did you know that you can actually just go through their drive-thru and ask for ice?
No.
Yeah, you can get McDonald's ice. They'll sell it by the gallon.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for letting me. I'll do that right now.
I'm just saying.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for joining us. We are Bravo Confessionals, and usually we also have Mel here, but it's just Taylor and Michelle, and we are here with Peggy Sulahian from Real Housewives of Orange County, and just life. And we're so happy that she's here to talk to us today about McDonald's ice or anything.
And she's been most famously known for the 100th housewife, right?
Yes. All the franchise. How did that happen?
Yeah, right? 100th housewife.
Yes.
So what have you been up to since the show? Have you been up to anything special?
A Real Housewife, cleaning, cooking, doing laundry. Well, I have my own serum line. It's called OMG, and it gives you a glow. It's 24 carats, and you put it on your face. You just get that J-Lo glow, or you could put it right after. It's got all natural ingredients. It's amazing. So I use that all the time, and that's what I've been doing right now. It's called OMG.
OMG, because I'm an esthetician, so that's really good to know. I'm gonna look it up.
Yes, so I'm keeping myself busy doing things like that.
That's good. And we could find that where? Is it like omg.com or?
It's you can go to omg.com. You'll see my picture there, and then you can order it from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's being launched. I mean, it is launched. Sorry, it is launched. So it's out. It's doing pretty well.
That's awesome. I'll have to check it out.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
So it's not like Ramona's Meaningful Beauty that like was supposed to be launched forever and she never had a website.
Well, if it hasn't been launched, I haven't heard about it. So.
Right. Okay. So have you come up with more? Are you more familiar with American slang? Since
I always was. I'm going to be honest with you, but certain particular ones, like the one she used, I'm sorry, I didn't learn at UCLA, so that's why I don't know about it, and that's why she went to Cal State, so I guess that's what they learned there. So that's what they did, just things like that.
Now, I was trying so hard to try and remember what it was that she said.
The peanut gallery.
Peanut gallery.
Gallery.
Oh, yes. The peanut gallery.
What's a peanut gallery? She annoyed me, so.
Do you use that term all the time now?
No, I don't, because it came out of her mouth and it makes me remind me of her, so no, I don't.
And this is Kelly, right?
So do you talk to any of the
other
housewives now?
Yeah, I do. I talk to Lydia. We're very, very tight and close, and she's actually coming over on Wednesday. And Vicky texts back and forth. I've texted her when she left the show or whatever under the circumstances. So I text her. So, text back and wanted to say, sorry that happened. That's about it. The other ones, no, not really. But, if I see them, I'll talk to them. I don't have a problem with them. But
you know how to be a grown adult in a situation.
Yeah, bygones be bygones, even though they put me through hell and back. I feel like as a viewer, you were never given a fair shot at even telling your story at all. It's like you started out the gate and they were just like, whoop. Shutting me down.
Yeah.
Shutting me down. Yeah, I never
Yeah.
got to tell my side of the story, which I think was very educational to everyone. And it's something, part of life and what people go through. So it would have been great to expose all that. So, but due to the circumstances, they didn't let me talk. They shut me down because they wanted more airtime and they wanted to have more drama. So they get more airtime and they get a paycheck. They keep that paycheck coming. So I still have my paycheck coming. So if they're off the show, I don't know how they're going to survive.
That's good.
I'm not one back down, and that's what you guys didn't see. You guys didn't see my side of the story, which is pretty sad. Not only that, the real true Peggy's personality, because I don't let anything slide. I always have the last word, and my husband's sitting next to me, like behind me, so I better be quiet with what I'm saying, or he's gonna hear.
Hi, Dico.
Oh, he left. That's why I'm able to say it without him shutting me up.
That's funny.
So let's go on more about that. Well, I do have the last word all the time. I don't let anything slide by. Like I said, I'll put you in your place. I've been raising kids for 25 years and a husband, and I'm still raising a kid. So I have much experience, or, the guidance for them to be guided in the right direction, telling them, you need to be quiet at a certain time. There's a respect thing. And at the end of it, I will make sure I do have the last word to put you in your place.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're more than welcome to share your story now if you ever want to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. So what happened was my dad was in the hospital at that time. He deteriorated in a matter of 3 months. I was really, really busy. I was like living in the hospitals, taking care of him. And then during the time of October, he started deteriorating. That's when I found out I had cancer. It was cancer. They didn't it was kind of cut off with the doctor because he said pre-invasive, but it was cancer. I wasn't able to go to the hospital myself, and he died of cancer. He didn't even know I had cancer. I was canceling my doctor's appointments. He passed away December 5. They wanted to have surgery on me in December. I said, no, I got to let Christmas pass by. So even during his funeral, I had cancer. Nobody even knew about it. I kept it to myself. And on January 20, they rushed me into surgery. And I had a double mastectomy, and I decided to have a double mastectomy in a matter of 10 seconds. Like the doctor told me, your BRCA came back negative, and this is while my husband was in the hospital. My father was in the hospital, and I was sitting down with the doctor because I said, get all the results ready, get all the lab work ready. I'm giving you 20 minutes. I got to get out of there. So she said, BRCA came back negative. Okay, thank you. I gotta go. And Dico, of course, was with me. And then later, she said, "No, sit down because we found cancer." Might I add, I already had a biopsy the first time. The second time, fainting all the time. They couldn't put the needle in. It took like 4 hours of fainting, and they're like, "We got to do this before surgery." I said, "I'm sitting here." They have me on a stretcher. I said, "You're doing it now." So I went through all these things. So whenever she said it's radiation, chemo, and tamoxifen, and I looked at her, I said, what are the choices I have? Because I can't really I can't really fathom this fact that I have cancer. So even when she told me, I just sat back on the chair and I had like a fake cry that when you hear cancer, you're supposed to have all these emotions. So what happened was I said, okay, I gotta go. Fine, I have cancer. Like, I gotta go, which was great because I didn't really accept it and didn't have time to process anything because my dad was dying. I mean, he was in his deathbed. So she said, no, no, sit down. You have cancer. So we ended up, I said, what do I need to do? She said, I said, do I need them? She said, no. I said, take them out. I'm done. Bye. So I really didn't know what I was doing, what was going on, like I said, which was better because I went through it. So when he passed away December 5, they rushed me into surgery January 20. And I was in bed for 6 weeks with tubes and blood. And I had a nurse come here, take care of me. Didn't know what was going on. My family I had my full support of my family. They were amazing. And without support, it is really hard to get through it. And I was on meds the whole time, like on Vicodin, like 6, 7 meds. because of the pain. So, and then I had to go and they had to take the tubes out. Again, I had to come to bed. And, you know, having a flat chest for a woman is a big deal. So I had like tape around it. He pumped it up a little bit with iodine to make it seem like I have something. And the worst thing is you have expanders on each breast. And nobody told me that. It's 1,000 pounds on each breast. So when I was in bed for 6 weeks, and then I was filming, I was in excruciating pain with meds, didn't know what was going on. My nerves were shot of everything that was going on. And the first day of filming, I was shaking. I mean, literally, I would have sat there and laughed through this, or I would have said, "What are you doing? I mean, who does what you're doing?" Even if I met you the first time, that's just who I am. Like, aren't you embarrassing yourself? Not only that, you're embarrassing us too. Stop it. Stop being childish. And I had expanders during the whole filming. And then when I was supposed to go to Watch What Happens live in July, I said, I'm not going now. I'll go later. I got to take these expanders off. I need to get, because you need another surgery. So we put silicone and I had to do fat transfer to put it on the top so it looks normal. So I got rid of the cancer. I didn't want to deal with biopsies anymore because I have a family history, but I have nothing to do with my mom. My BRCA came back negative, which is very unlikely. So when it came negative, I that's the whole point to do it is to find out if my daughters are going to have it, and my daughters have nothing to do with me. I have nothing to do with my mom. It just came up on my own because my mom passed away from breast cancer as well. The same age she got it, I got it the same age she did.
Oh my God.
And to be
I was gonna
honest,
say, so my mom was 32 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she's there with, my sister is 4 and I'm 2. And she's going through grad school and she got diagnosed. What was it?
you have cancer?
I don't.
Oh, your mom,
I mean, my mom did
you have to
growing up.
and it's always on the mom side. Your dad has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Your dad, every question they ask you, it's because of your mom. What your mom went through, your mom's sisters, I mean, what kind of cancer? Your dad has nothing to do with it. It's always your mom's side. So this is my side of the story. And I think a lot of people can relate to this and it's relatable to the world. And it wasn't something that I got on to, I wanted to tell people my story. And my DMs were out of control asking me for advice. Please let us know what happened. So I didn't really get to tell anybody my story and then really show off Peggy to true personality. I was on nerves. I was even on meds. I mean, when you see me on interviews, I was on meds the whole time. I mean, there was a time that I couldn't even film when I used to go to the doctor and he used to pump up my breast. I used to take that day off. I said, I can't do it. My breasts are really, really bad. I mean, I'm in pain. I'm in bed. So these are relatable things when you see me go to the hospital, to the doctor's office, and when he always puts, the iodine with the needle, I always like it's painful. It's really, really painful. But it's something you have to go through to avoid, more, you have to be, cautious about it and take precautions. Every woman has to do it. So if you're sitting there telling me I have to go, you're talking to the wrong person. You're talking to the wrong person. Yeah. And what was it? My mammogram came back negative. And and then I have to go for my MRI, and it was my MRI appointment. And in a matter of 3 months, there was cancer. So it was pretty aggressive.
Wow. And you're going through all of that at the same time that you're dealing with your father. And oh my God, I can't even imagine.
So my nerves were shot. My nerves were shot. And then if they believe me, which I never knew what it was, I took it because I was like, I don't know how to answer back at this point. It hit me that I had cancer maybe a year later because I was in denial too. So when you see me go to lunch with, what was her again? The mean girl? Oh yeah, Shannon.
Is it Shannon or Vicky?
No, with Vicky, I should have really given it to her.
Yeah.
But I was crawled up in my own shell. So when Shannon asked me, do you or do you not? it's kind of like I was in denial, and really we didn't get to talk to it with the family. So I was scared to really put it out there because I didn't want my family to even know about it, that it was clearly cancer, because it happened so fast and I felt bad for them. So after 6 weeks of being in bed, they said, we need you. I remember it was the week of Valentine's Day. They said, we need you. So I just got up and I left. So we really didn't get to discuss it as a family. So if I put it out there, I'm in denial. I'm still grieving the shock of my father. And how do you want me to express myself? And then upstairs, when, what's his name? Shannon's ex-husband asked Deco, do you or do you not? Well, she did, but she took it off, you know? So it's kind of like, that's how they twisted it. So, but, and he's trying to pick a, you know, not a fight, an argument, or to be on, you know, to have a couple of seconds to himself. Does she not, to kind of go back to what problems they had and make up a storyline like that? And that's pretty disgusting, because you don't put someone in that situation who was crying behind your back and not telling you and grieving himself.
Right. And I mean, I actually respect a lot more now, because I watched it all unfold, but to see it now and hear your side of the story, like, I would have hated for my family to find out that I had cancer through a reality show. Like, sit down and talk to me. So the fact that you're expressing that now, it makes such sense to me that I appreciate you telling us, because I feel like Bravo needs to know those people.
Bravo's lost.
Yes. 1,000%.
See, this is a real storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is a real storyline. And the thing is that if they gave me another year, you know, if I was on it for another year, I would have been myself. I would have really put people in their place, because that's what I would love to do, wanted to do law. So I have that in me. And I would, you know, be able to tell my story.
Well,
would you ever go back? Like, if Bravo reached out to you and we're like, hey.
I always get, and the only reason why I would go back is to put people in their place and to shut them up. Because
we would appreciate that as viewers. We need you to come back.
That's
and
what
shut
everybody
people up and put them in their place.
We need you back. We need you back. I would put people in their place. There's no way you're going to bully me, and I don't care who it is. If it's Kelly, Shannon, and they're all divorced, I'm sorry to say. They're all divorced. So you couldn't handle your marriage because you're not a good wife? I mean, it's not getting the man, it's keeping him.
I have to say, I feel like right now, I would love to see Peggy and Kelly go head to head, because Kelly's getting away with a lot right now.
Too much.
Yeah, she bullied me a lot. She even called me ISIS.
Wait, did she really do that? Did I miss? Was that filmed?
They asked for the tape, and I had recorded them in Iceland, because I'm not dumb. I saw them giggling, laughing. It was her, Tamra, Megan, and Shannon in the room. They were all in Shannon's room. And my door, this is in Iceland, and my door is like maybe 3 doors down the hallway, which is
Is this when Megan's baby was crying and that whole thing came up in the reunion? Yeah, okay.
I do remember this.
Yeah. And anyway, going back to it, they were in the room, and I had gone back to my room, because at that point I couldn't really handle it, take it. Like, my nerves were like bad, and I was not really concentrating. So I went to the room, and I hear them laughing. I said, the only way I have proof without my words is to have proof of this. So I was outside the door, and I have three sections of them laughing at me and her calling me ISIS. And I have the tape, and I have proof.
You still have it?
Of course I do.
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course I do. It's on my favorites.
I mean, if you ever want to send it, we'll add the link on there. Just saying, people can hear it.
Maybe I should.
Oh, we want it.
That's what I think.
I'm honestly, like, I don't even know what to say right now, because that is so disgusting.
Yes, and then you know what? Yeah, you know what made me stand up? And she goes, I'm gonna trump you. I'm gonna trump you. And the funny thing is, I didn't know what Trump was. So I turned to Shannon and I'm like, why is she talking about the president? She didn't know either, to be honest with you. She just looked at me and
Well, because that's a saying, like, I'm gonna trump you, but
yeah,
also like
beat you up.
President Trump is
Yeah. So I'm
in
like,
like
what does the president have to do? And she goes, she cursed me out. You graduated UCLA, you graduated UCLA, how'd you graduate? And she's drunk. So she's like, you graduated UCLA. And she tried to get into UCLA a couple of times and she didn't. So yeah, that's something I should have told her too. So she goes, and then I don't remember if she called me. No, she did. She goes, ISIS, and then she goes, I'm going to beat up your dad or something like that. I'm gonna have my dad beat up your dad. That was the time
That this was all going on with your father. Oh my God.
my father had died. So later on, I said, "What did you say about my father?" I stood up and right in front of her face. So and then that's when I went to my room. I couldn't film the next day. Again, I got my meds and I didn't even know we had to film the next day. I didn't care. I couldn't breathe when I went into the room. I called Deco. I have no idea where I am. I have no idea what time it is here. And then for 40 minutes I had anxiety. And then in the back of my brain, I'm like, Peggy, calm down, Peggy, calm down, Peggy, calm down. I tried to control my brain so I can control what I'm saying, what's coming out of my mouth. And I said, Peggy, the first thing you got to do is calm down. He doesn't understand what you're saying because I'm just, I can't even talk. I have anxiety. And I was like wheezing. I mean, nothing was coming out. It's not me having the cancer that bothered me. It was when she said, I'm going to have my dad beat up your dad. And that you will see on the video on when Bravo, because we had like 3 producers in there with their phones. And might I add, the day before, I went to the hospital with Vicky.
Yeah.
Vicky, Lydia had gone, and then I had gone. And when I went to the table, and I'm like, "Why aren't you guys at the hospital?" Well, we're gonna take turns. We're gonna do this. Well, that's part of drama. I mean, you're really a true friend. This is something tragic that's happening. Get your ass and get to the hospital. What do you mean you're eating? If it was your mom, supposedly you're good friends, now you're taking casserole when you're all drunk, you want to mend things, and you're crying fake for drama. I mean,
no,
even when
I'd be if I was drunk, I'd be Ubering back to Jersey to pick up Michelle. Like if she's in trouble, like I'm still Ubering from Ohio to Jersey to help her. But
well,
like
you're
the
not
people
on
on
the
these
phone.
shows don't do that.
Yeah, they don't do that. So they're just sitting down and eating. And then I had went to the hospital with her. But in my mindset, I'm still with my dad saying, do you need anything? How do you do it? What are you doing? It's like I'm always there because I was like in the hospitals for a good 6 months.
It's just your normal routine. You just know how to take over. And
I lost 20 pounds. I was like anorexic looking. I wouldn't eat. I didn't have time to eat. I didn't even have time to breathe. I'd go to the hospital. I'd be sitting on the floor.
it was a really hard year that you were going through, and especially to be thrown into. I wonder if they would have been like, hey, can I come next season? Like, this is just too much right now, you know?
Well, my word yes is a yes. So I would never, I would never disrespect them or anything. But the only time I couldn't go filming, I woke up at 7 at night in the evening where they had already filmed, they already had gone places. I couldn't take it. I even had the producer come into the room, taking care of me and seeing that I was asleep. And she's like, Peggy, I'm not even responsive to her. I couldn't. I was in a different world. So I have all the recording, I have everything. And that's why when I went to the dinner, I wanted to explain everything from the before, because you can't just get to that point without having them understand why I feel that way and how it came to that point. So when Megan's like, oh, you're taking too long. And I'm like, listen, I asked that this was another thing. I asked everybody if you're done talking so I can talk. Don't interrupt me. Well, it's taking you too long. I said, well, I want to say everything from the beginning. Don't shut me up. Shut up. And then when we went to the kitchen, producers told us to go to the kitchen after the sitting in the dining room. I went to the kitchen. I looked at this was in the beginning of filming. Before Iceland, we found out we're going to Iceland. I looked at Shannon's eyes, and I'm going to be there for her. While I had expanders, I was in pain. I'm like, are you okay? Yeah, are you okay? If she said that nicely, I would have bawled out. I would have bawled out. But I ran outside of the room. I had producers come after me, kissing my hand. Then you see me crying in the car. I could not take it. I'm like, why? How did I get myself in this situation? But if she was nice about it, I was ready to bawl out. Because I didn't have control of my emotions or myself or my thinking. I did not have control over anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm so sorry you went through that, and I mean, it makes a lot more sense now hearing what you actually have gone through. And I mean, I'm so sorry that you had to deal with all of that in such a short amount of time. I mean, that's heartbreaking.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So now you guys know the whole story.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, and we'd be happy to share whatever you got, because
and this was 2 seasons. This is 2 seasons. Maybe you can get out of this story that I just told you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They need to bring you back. Like, you need to get like there needs to be like a redo.
Redemption. Redemption for the 100th.
Tell him, not me, because if I go back, I'm put everybody in their place, and that's.
Yeah, but that would be good. People want to see that. People want to see Kelly get put in her place. Like,
I don't mind.
Oh, everyone wants and needs to see Kelly put into her place.
Right.
By a lot. So how do you feel about Vicky and Tamra being gone?
To each his own. I had a feeling that they were going to be kicked out like 3 seasons ago, to be honest with you. Vicky had it. She had it. And Tamara, how many times are you going to see boobs?
Right.
I mean, changing the size of your boobs. Okay, why do we need to know about it? Okay, you showed it. How many times are you going to show it? You're going to make out? Then,
right, and act like it's like pretend. Like, oh, they just fell out. No, they don't.
and then there goes the relationship with your family. I was so careful. You can't really, if you're straightforward, you have a mind, you're going to put everybody in their place and be correct about it. But then it's hard to keep the family together when you're out there exposing everything. Yeah, your family's not going to want to see that. But
I would agree.
I wish them well, even though Tam was talking shit about me everywhere, saying that I needed subtitles. Excuse me.
I was just going to say that.
It doesn't, what is her name? I love her. Vera, I forgot her name. She's beautiful. Veraga. She has a very bad accent, but she's, she accepts it, and I accept my accent. I've always said, I've always been around Armenians. My parents have been Armenians. We've spoken Armenian. I've been here for 43 years, 46 years. Yes, I became when I was 1. I'm 47 now. I'm proud of my accent. And the reason why you see subtitles is because Bravo asked for Armenian, and they wrote it down on the bottom. And why shouldn't everybody know that we're Armenian, and they have a different diversity, and that's why I want to do too, to put Armenians on the map. People didn't even know our culture. They didn't know anything about us. So about April 24, which they cut off, which whatever. And that's it. So if you're insulting me, there's a lot of ways I can insult you, but it's going to be hurtful, very hurtful.
It's going to point out the uneducation of the rest of the cast. Like the fact that somebody would say like, we shouldn't have you because you need subtitles. That pissed me off so bad when I just read that.
Well,
it's like
called ISIS is worse than that. Are you kidding me? Do you know ISIS? You're comparing me to ISIS? Are you kidding me right now? Were you not here watching? Were you not watching the news of what ISIS does? I mean, I didn't want the word to come out of my mouth because I didn't want them to cut it off. That's why I never exposed it. They even asked for the video. I said no.
Well, that just shows the character of you and the character of Kelly.
There's no comparison, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, she has anger issues and alcohol issues. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like she just goes for the jugular. Like whatever she's like, she gets like she has something in her head. She just says it and doesn't even think about the repercussions.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And you can't get away with things like that.
No, not this day and age. You need somebody to lay you out.
Exactly. I agree with
Is
you.
it, so there's so many, I don't know, do you keep up with like the drama in Bravo world?
You know what? I don't watch any of them. I got to be honest with you, because when you sit and watch, you have to watch the whole thing. And the only time I've watched OC Housewives is when I first moved here, and they used to go to the restaurants here, and then I wanted to see which restaurant they're going to, so I can kind of learn and see. After that, the drama was, they're so loud. They're yelling at each other. The only time I would watch was when I sat down, ate maybe 10 minutes of it. I'm like, and I'm done eating. So you go back to doing what you have to do. So that's what I did. So I never really knew that there was a system, there's a technique, there's a plan, how they're approaching it. If I knew all this, even though you probably get the drama, but it's kind of like putting in their place drama, not like telling people you need intervention or things like that. That doesn't, to me, it's like, what are you saying? Like, what do you, where does that come from? Why don't you hug her and really talk about the issue? That's how you're going to get it out of her, not yell and scream. That's the only show that I think they yell. When I turn on, when I turn on something else, I really don't watch it. I see actually they're having a conversation. If you're going to put them in their place, you're saying, you know what? I'm hurt, or let's talk about it, or even if their voice is getting loud, they're not getting raunchy about it. But
Right.
the people in there think that, that's an approach they're taking, and it's like all over again. Your head spins, and it's a lot. And I told them I don't want cancer to come back, so sayonara.
Yeah, too much stress.
Yeah. So with recently, people have been saying Andy Cohen. Do you know what was your relationship like with Andy? Did you have a close one?
I love Andy. I've always wanted to meet him. I love him. I love him.
I mean, there's so much drama circulating around him now, but I think it's like being spewed out by ex-housewives that might have been cut off by him. But like there are all these stories like Andy holds like gay all-night orgies and cocaine endless stuff, and it's like maybe that happens, but like why? Like
I don't.
Why are people spewing this on him to bring
to each his own? He's not exposing it like Tamara and the other Bronwyn. I know.
Bronwyn?
Yeah, I said it like that on purpose. I know what I'm saying. Don't correct me. I know what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to.
See, this is why we need you back.
What?
See, this is why we need you back.
Asshole.
Yeah. No, that's how they go. Asshole. I don't know any of those stories I've heard, but you know what? It doesn't bother me. I love him. I've always wanted to meet him. I do.
Yeah.
And he loves Deco.
Yes, he does.
Who doesn't love Deco? Everybody loves Deco besides me, no. Deco goes.
You gotta still love him on some level. He's still with him.
He's a housewife. He's a housewife. He was more normal than I was. He was like attracted. Actually, the camera was attracted to him. So what happened was, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I really did.
Andy Love and Deco.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? Interesting. I forgot. Well, he was the only. No, Deco goes, I go to work, everybody's scared of me. There's a respect, and everybody's scared of me. I come home, I'm scared of you.
You
that's
train
the way
right.
It should be.
See, 25 years of marriage, that's how you train them. So those girls needed to.
Honestly, so when are you teaching your wife courses? Because I need a husband to be scared of me when he walks through the door.
I need 25 years of experience. If you've been married for 10 years, you still have another 15 to go.
God,
what do you do in the in-between?
You took it being abused.
We need the in-between support. What gets you to the 25?
Right?
Alcohol.
The other day it was at 12 o'clock. I'm like, is it safe to have a drink?
I knew we were doing this, so I may or may not have already had one.
Waking up at 11:30 in the afternoon and 12 o'clock, you're asking. I was joking.
God.
All right. Well, Peggy, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else you want to chat about? I mean, we could sit here and chat all day.
You know what? Whatever you want to ask, I'm open to it. About all the information about me that you guys have read, or anything you guys want. Don't be embarrassed and shy. I don't mind at all. I'm open to any questions.
I did write down a list, but I didn't want to look like I was reading.
Okay, it's all right. You got to read. You got to. I mean, if we have to cut off, we have to cut off. But I do want you guys to get.
Yeah.
If there's any accusations that were against me, that you guys want to hear about it.
Well, just how people kept saying how, I guess now we're talking about the marriage thing. People always said that like Deco's so controlling.
Yeah. No, he's not.
I was going to say, it almost feels like you're probably like, yeah, you can control me there. You can control me here, but really, like, you're the mastermind behind who gets control there.
It's not control. The thing is that we're Armenian and we're very close-knit. In the beginning, he was very protective because he had a responsibility. We went to Europe. He didn't even have fun because he's like, okay, you know, I have to take care of her. So it's like, where are you going? What are you doing? He felt like this need to kind of, like I'm a little child. So as years went by, he saw that, you know what, she's safe, she's okay, she's, you know, making the right decisions, what I would make. So I don't have to take care of her because she has a head over her shoulders. It's like two different families coming together. But as far as controlling, I tell him, put the GPS on, look where I'm going, because I'm always getting lost. Because when I get lost, I need you to find out where we have a house in Rancho Mirage, and I always miss the 215 and Think Freeway. So I call him, and I'm on the freeway, and I'm like, Deco. He's like, but you took me off, you know, your location. I go, get it back on, do something. I can't see where I'm supposed to go. So I kind of want to be controlled by him because I need the guidance of where to go. So it's really funny. So these things I could have told you on the show and then made you laugh, and you know, so that's the part. It's not controlling. Like I said, he's scared of me. It's not the way around. And he ignores half the things I say now. So that's what it is. That's what it's like. He just brushes it off. She talked again, just brushing it off. The bed's not made, the pillow's not there, the dinner's not there, just brush it off. But everything is there in time. I do everything. So I am a good wife, a good housewife. No control there.
Tamara said, oh no, we already talked about this. I'm like reading my list now.
Go ahead. Give it to me. I guess I'm waiting for one.
So I feel like this Vicky and Tamara Shannon drama was too strong for allow you to even share your story.
Yeah, because it was monotonous. And I told Tamara, like she was in my face. I should have said, why are you in my face? You know, I lost you guys. Okay.
I'm there. Sorry, my phone dropped.
Got you back. Yeah, I was telling her, you know, drop it, and then so we can get on into real life and about real situations that the viewers can see, not the same thing as, you know, monotonous trying to get me on their side so I can be against Vicky. But I liked Vicky, to be honest with you. I liked her, and then we were friends. And then the boyfriend at that time, well, she's still the boyfriend. I forgot his Steve. He's a nice guy. And we go over, so it was a close relationship. So at that time, and Vicky was very, you know, high strung. She was all over the place. That's just her personality. And I just wanted to get over that hump. And then I noticed she's using the same words as I did in the previous episodes. She's using
like the same words.
Yeah, the same words. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. I told you don't dwell on it. What are you using my same words, like my same tactic? So whatever. I don't care. I
Have
still. Sorry, go ahead.
Have you met any of the new ones like Gina or?
Yes, she's wonderful.
Yeah, I love Gina.
Yes, that
And-
girl who drinks and drives and puts other people in danger. No, I know her name.
Oh,
Gina.
Emily?
Gina.
Oh, Gina.
Oh, that's Gina, right?
No, I met Emily. Sorry, very, very wonderful, beautiful personality. Beautiful personality. Nothing to say about her. But the other girl that starts with a G and the one that shouldn't be on the road when she's driving and putting other people in danger, that girl is a loose cannon. They wish they were a quarter of me.
Have you had interactions with them?
No. I don't think they'd want to either, because if I'm friends with them, they wouldn't want me back on the show because I'm not a good candidate maybe for them to be put in their place. So
You're too much of a mom. You'll say it how it is, and whether you want to hear it or not, you're going to hear it.
I still do it. And my kids are like, stop disciplining us. We're 23, 21. Stop disciplining us. So I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that towards them, because you have to move with life. You have to move with every situation is different. The kids are different, and you've raised them, so you have to trust them, and you give them their wings, but they always come back to you because that's how you've raised them. And that's exactly what happens with our kids. To be honest with you, they don't do anything without asking us, and that's not control, because they always come back for advice. But that's how you've trained them. They were young, you've always been with them, you've never left them. I've had maids, I've never left them with the maids. The maids are there not to raise my kid. So there was, a long period of time that we're there for them until now. So they keep coming back. And if you're a loose cannon, and then when you say my daughter or my son, or we're having problems with the family, family is ups and downs, but it's the way you've kind of raised them. It comes back to you. Like with Armenians, they say when they grow up and then, you're letting them be loose cannons when they're young, you're going to regret it. And you're going to have to hit your hands on your knees. You're going to hit your hands on your knees. So does Kelly know what I just said? That's an Armenian thing. So it's just, you got to do it from the beginning. If you do it at the end, you're going to lose everybody. It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful.
Yeah.
You don't have control over the family. And the one technique of raising a family is for everybody to think the same.
I was going to say, I still call my mom. I'm 32, and I'll call my mom and be like, I don't know, am I supposed to turn right or left?
No, that's me with the GPS.
So that's no matter what, you just need that family connection at the end of the day, and just build it.
It makes life easier, and everybody's not going in the different directions, and you're not dealing with different problems and situations and getting yourself in trouble and, getting stuck in a rut. So from the beginning, you have to be there for your kids the day they're born. You have to. That's how it is. And if you're working, you don't have a choice, manage your money, and you have to stay home. I'm sorry to say, you can't leave the child with a babysitter. That babysitter is not the mom, and you're never, ever going to get those years back. It's too late. It's too late. You got to mold them from the beginning, just like Deco molded me. I laugh about it because it's not true. So it's
all right. I hate to say this, but I know Michelle has an esthetician client that she has to get to, so we have to cut the conversation short. But
Sorry.
No, we'll do this again.
Yeah,
we'll just have another talk.
Enough good conversation.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and I'm sure we'll chat again.
Yes.
We'll hear from you soon, Peggy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now get some sleep. Get some sleep.
No, I'm going to the bees. I got makeup on, remember?
Oh yeah, now you can go out.
Go get right.
Go get your McDonald's.
Go do laundry.
Yeah, right.
All right,
bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm ready if you're ready. So much love in this.